It's a little shaded pole multi-fit motor I changed the other day. It's seized up, the bearings had seized up on it. That's the bearing. It's a self-aligning thing, that's why it's sort of spherical. So a little shaded pole motor, I think they call it a Q motor. The style rather than the actual, this particular one. It's a multi-fit, you've got different bolt holes down the bottom, 3 mounting holes in the back, 3 in the front, some mounting holes on that bit there that goes like that, and you can also use the 4 on like a fan guard ring mount through the bolts to hold it together. I've changed this because it seized up, and that was because that bearing, front bearing, seized up, and they're sort of spherical on the outside, so they'll where they fit in there, it allows for, it's like a self-aligning bearing, so it would still run even if it wasn't quite square. There you go, just to show you with some springs. That one I've actually, it was so seized on there when I pulled it apart it came out of the housing. That yellow stuff is like an absorbent material where the oil that keeps the bearing lubricated is soaked into that. Anyway, that's what's gone. But these little bearings, years ago, would have been made out of bronze, sintered bronze or brass. As you can see, that one's made out of steel. So, plain steel bearing on a steel shaft. It's not really rocket science to see why they only last 2 or 3 years if you're lucky. Needless to say, the back bearing was fine, but that's sealed, so it doesn't get any dust in there. But I think in this case it had seized up because it had grease and oil dripping on it from the ducting for the kitchen extract. So it was being, that's what this is here, that residue there is really sticky cooking fat from the extract from the above the cooker. That's another one there, that's made by EBM Pabst, which you'd think would be a good quality motor, but I was quite surprised to see the same type of design as that, smaller wattage. I think that's a 5 watt and this one's an 16 watt. So the ends are the same, they just put a bigger winding in the middle, probably a little longer rotor. But that one's is steel bearing as well. I would have thought somebody like EBM would have put a better bearing in there, but obviously not.